everyone! Welcome back to Scrap to Fab, where we turn scraps into something fabulous. Before we upcycle and transform old clothes, we need to learn the foundation, because every great creation starts with one stitch. If you're new to sewing or just getting started, then this video is perfect for you. Today we're doing Thread and Needle 101, your guide to understanding needle, thread, and how to use them properly. Let's get started! Understanding your tools is important. This sewing needle may look simple, but it has three important parts. First is the point, the sharp tip that goes through the fabric. Then we have the shaft, the long body, and then the eye. It is the small hole where the thread goes. There are different types of needles depending on your project. Sharps are for general sewing or for small projects. Then embroidery needles that have a bigger hole or eye are for thicker threads, and ballpoint needles are best for stretchy fabrics. If you're just starting, a basic sharp needle is a perfect option to use because it works well for most fabrics and is easy to control. A tip for you, smaller needle works well with finer fabric, and a bigger needle works well with thicker fabric. Next is choosing the right thread. Not all threads are the same. There are cotton threads that are soft and great for natural fabric, polyester threads that are strong and versatile, which is perfect for beginners, and embroidery threads for thicker and decorative look. And there are many more. You can choose what type of thread you want to use for your project, depending on your fabric choice. But for this demonstration, we will be using polyester threads, which you can see on the screen. Now, how do we thread a needle? Cut about 18 to 24 inches of thread. Don't make it too long because a long thread tangles easily. Hold the needle steady, pinch the thread between index and thumb, and gently push the thread through the eye. Pull it through and leave a small tail. If you're struggling, you can try trimming the end again or use a needle threader. Take your time, it will get easier with practice. After threading, the next thing to do is to tie a knot. First, bring the ends together, then wrap the thread around your finger and roll it down with your thumb. And lastly, pull it tight. Now you have a knot and you're ready to sew. Now we're going to teach you the basic stitches. The first stitch is called the running stitch, the most basic stitch. You grab the needle with the thread, then push it in and out. In and out. You can see that it creates small dashed lines. Keep the stitches even and don't pull too tight. This stitch is good for practice, for repairing holes, or for temporary stitching. The next stitch is called backstitch, pulling it through the front part and inserting it back, leaving a small space from the starting point where you first inserted the needle. After that, insert the needle from the back of the fabric, bringing it up again with enough space away from the starting point. And insert it back a few spaces away from the starting point. Do it continuously with no gaps until you reach the end. Next, the blanket stitch. From the back of the fabric, bring the needle through the front and make sure it's near the edge, pulling it through the front one more time with a little distance below the first stitch. hooking it inside the loop and pulling away from the edge. You can use a slightly thicker thread for visibility and durability. Stitch again a few spaces away from the starter stitch and pull the needle halfway through the back of the fabric. Hold the remaining thread and then pull the needle out of the fabric completely. Do the same process until the end of the fabric. Remember, your stitches don't need to be perfect, especially if you're just starting. Sewing is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. Your first stitches might be uneven, some might be too tight, some too loose, and that's completely okay. What matters most is that you're learning how to control the needle, how to guide the thread, and how to understand your fabric. Don't rush the process. Whip stitch may be bearable, but it's a little tricky if you pull too hard. So first, thread the needle, go between the fabric, and come out. Next, you're going to whip the thread around and come over from the back to the front out onto the line. And repeat and just be consistent. The slip stitch, also known as the invisible ladder or hidden stitch, is commonly used hand sewing stitch. In this stitch, ironing the fabric where you want the seam to be is a good first step. Start the stitch between one of the iron sides of the fabric, then bring the needle to the opposite side and slide the needle through the top of the fold. Next, go directly and stitch the other side and do the same thing. Do it again for a more secure lock. Pull the thread every couple of stitches. Also note that there are not only 5 basic stitches. In fact, there are many hand sewing stitches like for decorative, embroidery, and advanced tailoring stitches. But here, we wanted to teach you the 5 essential beginner stitches that will allow you to complete most simple sewing and upcycling projects. And once you learn these, you can easily learn the others. And that's Thread the Needle 101. I hope this helps you with your hand sew journey, and if this really helped you, then it's a win-win for both of us. If you'd like to see more, do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts and ideas. In our next video, we will apply some of the things from this tutorial to a real beginner project. I can't wait to see you from scraps to fab. Until next time.